What is up, everybody? This is the Uninfringed Outdoors podcast. We're back finally after a
Guess who's back?
back again after a long break. Just hunting season got to us. This is Cage speaking,
Connor,
Brandon,
and we are trying to get this podcast in real quick before our first.
What is it called? Illinois Deer Classic.
Deer Class. This isn't our first. This is our second show. Second show. Legit.
Too legit to quit.
Yeah.
Got a good spread going on. All our new merch, new logo out there, ready for you to come check it out. We'll actually have some videos playing on the background too on a big screen. It's a little screen though, actually. It's like 42 inches. But
We'll have videos playing. We'll have merch out. We'll have a couple of our bows to show just kind of what we do. Then you can also step into our booth and play our game. So come interact. And you can't leave until you buy merch. So
plus there's a bow shoot going on there, indoor 3D. It's time to get out, people.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. It's starting to get warm, but it's Illinois, so it's like, hey, here's a little warm weather, but here's a little cold.
Yeah. I want you to get outside, but I want you back inside.
My nipples are exhausted.
Exactly. But going off of that shoot, it is 3D season. We have shoots coming up. We have our first local shoot next weekend, which would be the 29th.
29.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking forward to. We have TAC in May, then a couple of other shoots.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of TACs coming up this year that I don't know if we'll make it to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of shoots going on. TAC last year was a blast. Connor and I touched on this the last podcast. It was like 3D shooting, I think, is the biggest thing to get a guy out and make sure his bow is dialed. And just make sure you're dialed, because it's just fun. And there's a lot of those courses out there now that they challenge you. You got to shoot through little gaps.
Yep.
Pretty realistic
Steel
situations.
Plate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
No. But there's some fun stuff. I mean, just any shoot you can get to is just, it's fun. Shooting film, just get out and shoot some film.
yeah.
But Brandon, if you want to take it off. Let's get this sucker rolling. Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Thought the same.
All right, so being that it is time to warm up, you start getting your bow out shooting. At least I do. I don't know who else took time off the winter. But it made me think about it. I think I asked Connor this the other day when we were working on his blind. When did you start getting the most stoked about deer hunting? When do you think it usually happens? What is there a trigger? Is there just a time you're like, oh yes, I gotta get going. I gotta get out there, see what's going on, get my stands done, all that sort of stuff every hunter does every year, last minute.
I hear that. No, I would say, man, it's like, it's super weird because like during the deer season, right? Like you're just already in that mood, right? And then come late season, you're like almost burnt out a little bit.
Yes.
But as soon as season's over, it's like, oh my gosh, I want the next season to get here.
And you mentioned that. I do want to, because I thought about that. I think I said it to you, maybe you guys, both of you guys at one point. Like there was a certain time last year I was like, I'm almost tired of it.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I love hunting.
Yep.
But it's a different ball game when you're always dragging the camera around or something like that. It's just because it's like that. When you start involving a camera, I don't want to get off my topic here, but when you start involving a camera, it's like it's a whole different ball game.
There's so many other things to worry about.
Because we were trying to get on Jim Bob all last season, and then on top of that, we had to get on film, and it's not that easy for us to correlate our schedules together to get a cameraman on you and freaking get Jim Bob there at the same time because he's got a busy schedule.
Right,
too.
exactly. 'Cause we try our best not to have to sell film. We are all three individually set up to do that. We just try our best not to.
I 100%
quality.
I 100% always preach you're going to get better film results if you have somebody filming
Correct.
you.
Yep. 100%.
That way you can focus on just hunting, you know.
Yep.
So, but like, yeah, it's just exhausting whenever, because it's especially in Illinois. It's like you got bow season. it's like the bow season has like a constant drag from like the middle October all the way to like the second week of November. You're just trying every weekend or every second you can to get out there and see if the action's happening. And then right then, oh crap, it's gun season. We got to shift.
Right, yeah.
Get your orange on, get your gun out. Was it sighted in? And then you got all that different gear you're doing there. And then you got to shift back the bow if you didn't connect with your deer. It gets exhausting at the end of the second gun season.
It does. It really does. But, I mean, I would say for me, I am, as exhausting as you're saying it does get, I always want to do it.
Yeah.
I would never not want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, as soon as season's over, I wouldn't say I'm like disappointed or upset. I'm ready for the next season. Like, I'm ready to see what that one has in store.
Well, I think also, like, probably was most exhausting for you is the ups and downs. If you guys check out the video Cage posted up of him finally connecting with a big 8-pointer out there that we thought we were chasing.
Yeah.
We didn't get that until muzzleloader season. What was it? What is that?
December
13th.
December 13th. That's after all of prime bow season and the 2 gun seasons have passed. You get freaking muzzleloader season. It was like the last
and we just decided to go out.
That was the last day.
Yes.
Last afternoon.
Yep.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Last afternoon of muzzleloader season.
Yep. It was Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and hey, and then, but like I touched on exhausting, you must have been exhausted because you get those ups and downs. We saw Jim Bob a few times last year.
And we couldn't, we got a shot on, which is in the video. You need to go check it out, please.
The week before that, we just saw him in the distance.
We could have got a shot, but we were set up incorrectly in the tree. I mean, it was just that many.
And that's the exhausting part too. Like, we were in a tree we were never in before. Mm-hmm. But it's like that mind game. You're like, oh, where should we go this next morning?
Yeah.
And you're always playing that at midnight when you're trying to sleep. You're like, should I really go there? Or should we just slap up some saddles right there? Mm-hmm. You know? And then you're so unprepared when you get in there in the dark in the morning. You're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't have anything trimmed. It's like, it is cool. It's definitely cool to sneak in on them.
It is, but that was our problem. We didn't, like you said, we just started hunting that tree. Nothing was trimmed. No shots were there. We didn't know how to set up in the tree because where you were was theoretically really probably where I should have been. Yeah. And then I could have had a much because I was way wrapped around. Yeah. But it all worked out, and it just adds to the story. But Connor, what do you think? When do you think you're most excited for? When
did you start getting really pumped about?
I go through phases. Like, I'd say whenever I'm doing something for hunting, like if that's food plots or something, like as soon as I do something for hunting season, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to sit in a stand and watch something come attack this food, like something like that. And then it's like it goes back. There's that little dead period or whatever until your next something for hunting. So I would say it's each time I really do something, it like really amps it up. Like I want to get out in the woods. But I'd say probably the biggest one is got to be end of August to late September because it's right around the corner. It's crunch time. You better make sure you're sighted in, and it's just like it's just eating at you. Like I need to get out in the woods.
Right.
But yeah, I'd probably say that ending right there, that last month, or anytime I really do something for hunting, if that's at my permission piece or here or there, like it's just anytime I'm doing something to get prepared for hunting season, it just eats at me. I'm just like, man, I gotta get back out in the woods, even though it was like 2 months ago.
No, I hear that, dude. I mean, any time to get in the woods is a good time.
Yeah,
it always is.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's another element of it is doing food plots. That really, like that in itself, it's like from right when it starts to get close to like a green up around here is when my brain just doesn't stop. Like, what should I plant there? What do I got to do to prep it to plant and stuff like that? And because you just want to provide everything you can for the deer, but also what can I capitalize on to really draw the big bucks around here?
Right.
And then, so you're basically, the food plots just add a whole different element because it's like my brain won't ever stop thinking until that seed's in the ground. Not even after that, I'll be like, what can I do?
Yeah.
Can I fertilize it? Can I do any? Oh, we're not getting any rain and stuff like that.
I feel like personally, whenever I plant a food plot, I got a bad problem of staying out because it's like I don't constantly want to go in. And be like,
oh, you want to see? Oh, look at the little sprout.
It doesn't matter. I don't know if it's a weed or not. I'm just like, nice.
I don't know what this is. Google it.
Yeah. But like that's where it really eats again. Is like whenever you go out and do something, it's like I constantly want to go back and just do daily checkups. Even though I know I just painted it like 6 hours ago, I just want to go back and just constantly check.
Yeah. Well, but like I would say the time that really triggers me to be always thinking about just the deer hunting and playing that chess match of getting ready for like, oh, what do I do? I want to get my stands in so I can leave it alone and stuff like that, I would say it's when that corn around here is completely yellow.
Oh,
because there's something about harvest because it's always about the same time as bow season opening up. Once that corn is basically almost all yellow, no green to it, I know it's about time for
about the real deal.
Yeah, and I think I send you guys a picture every year of anytime I see the first combine rolling out in the field. It's like, yes, because around here your game is screwed. If you got standing corn.
Yep.
You can play the edges and corners, but you're playing
pretty much a waiting game.
Yeah.
I mean, but if they take the end rows off.
Baby. That's when it's fun too. Yes. But I think that's what triggers my urge to be like, okay, I gotta figure out my next move. What's my first move, and then every move after that is when that corn turns yellow, and especially when those combines start and the dust flies, you start taking that corn out. Around here, it's just it's hand in hand, harvest and bow season.
No, I agree with that. And that's what going off of that. Some of the properties that we have, the crop rotation is corn this year. So now we have to play it.
Oh boy.
We have to play that differently.
That'd be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day actually. The getting in there with the bikes when it's got standing corn.
I don't know how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That helps. That's in my favor, I think.
Yeah, you won't have corn this year.
I have corn. So last year, where my blind is going, that guy's field is going to be corn now, and the other neighbor is beans. So which kind of helps because I'm bordering it all corn.
But the best thing, you have a waterway, you can go all the way down.
Nope. Yeah. I have to. I have to go in the field about 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, but you can. As soon as you're in that waterway, you're laying home. Mm-hmm. So it just.
And it's pretty nice because like, with that corn going to surround everything, they're still having beans, but I still got cover, so I can walk in from any direction and be covered. So that kind of plays a good role there. But
no, I hear that. What are you most looking forward to improve this year?
To improve?
Mm-hmm. As far as your archery overview.
Like the season, like for
just anything in general, just anything to like if that's I guess it'd be what's going to improve your outcome. Like if that's something like did you lack on last year that you really want to?
I did okay last year on some certain bucks out at that place. I want to get better at aging while I'm in the stands because
to say that
my deer was probably 2. I feel like 2.5. If I could sit there, like I did that last year, there was a 2-year-old in front of me. Only reason I didn't want to do anything because he was like small. Yeah. He was small, but I need to get better at that because man, you look on TV and they're passing up 190-inch deer. They're like, he's 3. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was on the toilet this morning and right before I took a shower.
That's the best thinking spot.
And I saw something on Facebook and this guy's talking about this 3-year-old 170-inch or maybe it's 190-inch like 9 or 10-pointer or something like.
That's the advantage.
Yeah, generally, like, especially like 5 years ago, that deer would have been dead for me. Like, I would, because I don't. It's hard to judge that for somebody like me. I don't know, So, and I think last year I got terrible. Yeah, I just try to step it up every year. That's the age class thing. It's so hard to say. Yeah, that deer's 5, so he's probably shootable. I don't know, and. It's also hard for me to tell what deer's what sometimes. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of freaking 8-pointers last year for some reason. Yeah. On my property, on the property we share, everybody had a lot of 8-pointers.
Dude. That was taken over. You took one of my 8-pointers.
He's a 9.
But that's the thing. Like, unless they have like like a specific characteristic. You don't. It's hard for me to tell.
Well, we've went through that. I mean, out at our permission piece, like.
Well, you guys have 3 of the same deer.
With Jim Bob.
Ah, I know. He cloned himself for protection.
He's like,
they're what?
It's a stunt doubles.
stunt triples.
Yeah. No, we just. Yeah, I can see the whole judging the aging.
I really want to get better at the aging.
I can see how that would be extremely beneficial, even if it is just per se, right? Say it is 170 inch, 3 to 3.5 year old, right? 95% of the land manager people, like for instance, like Drury's, Lee and Tiffany Lakowski,
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeff Sturgis with Whitetail Solution, like they would all be like, yeah, he needs 1 to 2 more years to really mature. And I think Mark said, don't quote me, but I think he said that best age for a deer is like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they may even let him go 2 or 3 more years.
Right.
And that's just like the discipline that they have is something that I would really like to improve in.
Yeah. I wish I could get better at aging a deer. Because, like, whenever I see a rack in, I don't care if it's a spike. As soon as I see a rack, I'm just like, this is like it kind of pumps you up a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to be able to take time and really look at a deer and be like, okay, instead of just looking at the rack, knowing it's a buck, I'm going to be like, he's 2 or 3. And it's like, I want that discipline to be like, all right, he needs another 2 years.
Right.
I also contemplate, because everyone around me at this permission piece, nonstop hunting, shooting anything from small to big. So it's just like, I don't want to let my number 1 buck go and then he gets killed by a neighbor.
And that's another thing I want to talk about whenever what I was originally going to say about it was when you get these people that are just known for growing big whitetails, they can sit there and say, oh, he needs another year and needs another year, but they can also say that's a 6-year-old deer, but he's going to blow up next year.
Right. They can just see. Yeah. It's like, what? How are you like?
How do you know this?
Yeah, I think I remember. I think I remember watching a video from Drury's. I think a year or 2 ago. They had a deer. You know, who was always. He's always for the first 2-3 years, whatever, has been a really nice deer, right?
Yeah.
And like a typical like, hey, yeah, I would shoot that, right? He got hit by a car, right? That next year, his left side only grew like 3 points, but it was like straight up. And I remember Mark and Terry were sitting down, and they said, "This deer's gonna blow up."
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that next camera, dude, that deer went into like a 190-inch deer.
Yeah.
From like a 150 class.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Like, I don't know how you can just be like, this is what's gonna happen. But it also, I mean, it's years of experience.
Exactly. Years of experience. They know that their nutrition is there.
Yep.
Their herd quality is there. So they just let nature do its thing. But they know exactly what it's going to do. With a couple variables. You can never guarantee EHDs out of the question and stuff like that. And that's something that concerns everybody. But I think people like that are most equipped for it because they have that nutrition always there. Their farms aren't for just farming. Their farms are for deer.
Yep.
You know, that's their thing. And that's why I think gives them the most power to say, yeah, that deer is going to blow up. You know, they've seen it before. You know, because I think I saw an episode of Lee Lakowski's, his neighbor. They showed an episode of his neighbor hunting a deer, a really big deer, and I think he talked to Lee with some pictures of the year before. He's like, man, this deer got really funky on this side. Lee's like, I think he got injured. Either got hit or something happened to him in a fight or something. He's like, wait till next year. He's going to blow up. And sure enough, he was a 200-inch freaking deer.
Well, we had that at the at the timber.
You had a 200-inch deer?
Yeah. No. Like I said, Ridland, but Blades. I think that's what his Blades.
Yeah.
We didn't know that year before he's a 13-pointer. He was super small and tight. But I know, my bad. And
good golly.
We get a picture of a Friday of shotgun season. We get a video or whatever of the buck, I looked at it, and then we looked at a picture from last year, and we put 2 and 2 together. He blew up huge. Probably.
He probably put on 20 inches.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like, yeah, I hope someday I can get to that point. Oh, yeah, that deer's gonna blow up. But that's another thing, and that's why I wanted to touch on that. People will say, "Well, I don't manage deer. Or you shouldn't bother manage deer because your neighbor's gonna screw it for you." But that doesn't mean that you can't give it your best shot.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do what I can to hope my neighbors don't get a hold of that deer. I'm going to do what I can to make that deer feel comfortable sticking around my spot as much as possible. Now, we hunt small tracks. So, yeah, I can't guarantee that they're staying on my place. Guarantee they're not, because they're a roaming type of animal. They're going to roam at least a mile everywhere, you know, if not further than that, if you saw with Tank last year. So, like, you're going to...
Sure.
So you're gonna get that. Oh yeah, neighbor's gonna shoot him. And I had legit like scenario of that last year. I think I talked about it on the last podcast. I was shotgun hunting. It was the first season at my OG farm, and I was self filming, and I'm hunting the very corner of this property that I'm on, the very southwest corner of it. South of me, I see a blaze orange sitting like 100 yards south of me, and you know there's nobody hunting to the west of me. Well, maybe he was hunting that day. I think he was hunting that day. I usually text that guy back and forth. And but the guy south of me, and then there's apparently another guy south. Yeah, because the guy west of me said, yeah, there's another guy in the timber south of that guy. So there's 2 guys south of me at least. And so yeah, I this nice buck comes in. I actually have footage of it, and I think I was so gun shy of saying, man, I'm not judging this age class right, or he needs another year or 2, you know, after shooting that one with my bow last year, and I didn't want to shoot him, but I just got looking at him like, man, that's a really nice deer, and I was just thinking about that old adage, like, would you be happy with it? You know, some people preach that. So I went to reach for my gun, and he picks his head up, and it kind of looks at me, but I'm really still, you know, as still as you can be when you're sitting there trying to grab your, like, I'm at full reach, grab my gun off the hanger, and like,
You're right on. It's dead.
And you know how deer do, they're like, yeah, let me see if I can just watch this guy just fall, because his muscles are
losing air to his brain right now.
His muscles are gonna give up. Watch. And the deer just kind of walks back where he came from. He walks south, and like a couple minutes later, I hear a shot. And it's just the way it goes. Your neighbors there's some neighbors that are out there to blow it all down, and you can't control that. But there is that good chance that, I mean, the other thing about it is, granted, the rut takes this out of the scenario a little bit. Those big old bucks are big and old for a reason. They're not stupid, as we've played with Jim Bob a lot.
Yeah, he's toyed around with us too.
Yeah.
So. I would say going off of that, and I watch Jeff Sturgis a lot. The dude's a genius. One of his biggest things for neighbors that hunt, like if you have neighbors that hunt around you, his biggest thing he says is bet on the deer.
As in,
like,
bet on it to have the best odds.
Bet on it to have the best odds, right? Like that deer,
because that deer's
it's alive for a reason. It's I mean, smart.
They're out there living there in it every day.
Yeah,
so they've got to figure.
And they say, you know, he says your best odds is bet on the deer, you know, and then just take everything you've learned and hunt accordingly, and that's how you're gonna.
I also think about this phrase that I heard from Stephen Ranella at Meat Eater. I don't think he was putting it in this context, but he's basically, when he was deer hunting and sitting around the fire with some people, he's like, think about it this way. Like, how many of us as people have seen somebody die? You know, like physically in front of you. He's like, I bet every one of these deer out here have seen one of their dear friends or whatever die in front of them. So they've got that life and death mentality. You know, they're gonna avoid death at all costs. You know, that's why you don't even see a coyote and they go running, but then here's a coyote pops out. You know,
they just have that second. It's a second nature to them. Yeah,
it's that fight or flight mentality. Yeah. They just know they don't chance it. Their nose is their biggest adversary, and they don't chance it. When they smell something, those old does or those old bucks, they smell something, they're like, nope. Even when we saw that I think we were toying with Jimbo with a call at the bedroom, and he didn't want to come to us. He was with a doe.
That's right.
He's like, I don't know about that. I think there was a little bit of our wind blowing that way. And he's like, I don't know about that. He's like, man, I really want to check it out because he looked like he was ticked.
Oh, he was mad.
I did that snorkel weave.
Everything.
Yeah, he looked like he was mad. But there's like, it's just like, yeah, they're already programmed. Like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
Just stick with the dough.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call.
Good play.
Good play. Good play, Jimmy. Good play, Jimmy. Yeah, no, I hear that. What,
Now like basically, yeah, this I'd say, but it's that time of year. We're all dialing in our stuff. Connor, how you doing with your dialing in? You had a little setback with your back, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah. I shot, was that last week when we had that like super calm, nice day?
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that's crappy about this season is it gets warm, but it's windy.
And you only have one day and it's right in the middle of work.
Yeah.
If it is calm, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, true.
Well, Dad was doing something in the office. I was like, I'm just going to go shoot my bow. And it was like 10 a.m., so I was like, perfect. I go shoot the bow, and I think I was telling Brandon this. It goes 20 to 50 is pretty dialed. As soon as I go up past that, my arrows start going farther right each time. So I have to switch that little windage thing. So I had to do that. I got out to, I think it was 90 yards. I shot 91 or 92. And I think I was about 2.5 inches right up and down as money. And the group was probably like that. Just like that. It was good. Everything felt great. It's just, I got to work on that. Unless there's, like you said, like a walk back tune or something.
Yeah.
Do something to fix that, then I think I'm pretty set. But that was just one day of shooting. I gotta shoot more.
Yeah, it's just that time to make sure the bow is all tuned up, all the specs are reading right, and because we did a lot of shooting last year.
Holy cow.
And it was fun. That was a blast. I honestly say hands down TAC was my favorite moment last year as far as shooting goes.
It was so much fun. I mean, I've never, the local 3D shoots are cool, but TAC was awesome. I mean, even the atmosphere of all the other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys look at our video, we have 1 point on 130 yard moves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we had probably 30 people.
I think that was probably my favorite time at the TAC, probably, because you see, we got there first. It was just us. And then you see people just start flying.
People filing.
And we're all like, you just see everybody glassing each other's arrows and everything.
Everybody's sitting there winging shots at the 130 yard moves. Oh, yeah, you're just a little low. You're a little bit high. You're completely missed.
Did you shoot? Yeah, I did. Twice, actually.
It's awesome because as soon as somebody hits a target, everybody's like, let's go, or something like that.
Yeah. No,
that was great.
And then you have that party of everybody looking for arrows.
Yeah. and that's what's cool. Everyone's like, I got an arrow. It's blue fletching. Like, that's fine. I get it. Let me get that. It's cool. But then I remember I came back the next day and my arrow that we couldn't find was in the arrow bucket.
The return bucket.
Because the workers go out and look for arrows and everything.
Well, isn't there something if you bring in a certain amount of arrows, you get like a shirt or something?
Yeah, you get. I think it's 15 arrows. You get a shirt or 25 arrows.
Really?
I should just hand out my quiver.
Yeah, so worth it.
No, but that's pretty sweet. Going off of that, I know this podcast is all over the place, but we did get some new gear this year.
We did?
You and I did.
What is it?
Oh.
I don't know. Dude, I've been buying so much crap. I don't know, Gage.
I got the Lift X.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I'm on it for mine then.
And please, just go ahead and call me stupid. I got the Lift XD.
Yeah. Yep.
I am so excited.
How tall are you again?
I'm 4'7".
Okay.
With 9'3" draw line. Nailed it. Yeah, no. So we
Which is funny. I do want to talk crap about this for just a second to all those haters out there that tell me I can't shoot the draw length I shoot.
Bingo.
For all you jerk offers out there, Chris B, I saw a video he did. Anchor point doesn't matter. Yep. It's the peep sight alignment that matters.
Yep, I did see that because he was at the Ultraview headquarters and the guy told him to bring his bow. He didn't bring his bow. Shot the one dude's bow at like a 31-inch draw. And it was way back here. Absolutely inside out X'd it. He could. It was so perfect. He literally cut around his arrow and was able to pull the inside X out.
One reason I've always preached that's bogus. I mean, anchor point does matter for those that can't seem to consistently shoot.
Yeah, it's consistency factor.
Yes, the consistency helps. Yes. That's for sure. But if you can't stay consistent, you need your anchor point or something, a kister button, something like that. But I have always argued it because back when I was in high school, I used to sight in your grandpa's bow, friends' bows. I'd be like, yeah, give me your bow. I don't care what draw length it is. I'd sit there and get it dialed in for them. They'd go shoot it, money. That's why I say now I couldn't shoot your bow that one time I went to shoot because it was way
a little short.
The peeps, something about the peep sight was just a little off for me. Like it was a little,
it was low.
I had too much. Yeah, my face is too big or something.
Well, you did that with my bow too. Remember when we did the TikTok live or whatever at your house?
Oh yeah, and I could barely look through his peep. Like, and that's a weird thing, right? Like how I was normally anchoring.
Yeah.
I was shooting off, but when he shot it, dead on.
Yeah.
And it's because I probably wasn't lining that peep up correctly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, those guys could piss off. I mean, for real. I mean, if you really want to, nitpick, go just.
To touch on the consistency thing, anchor points usually a golden point to go off of. A lot of people preach anchor point, but also don't shoot a bow that's not comfortable for you.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's too short or too long of a draw, you're gonna know you're straining too much. It's just that there's that sweet spot, and I think John Dudley did talk about this when he's talking about adjusting draw length. Even though you might have a certain mod, you can actually adjust the draw length based on twisting of the strings and cables. He's like, every professional archer will tell you there is a sweet spot to the draw length, whether it's a 1/4 inch longer or shorter, it's a 1/16th. They know. Because it's that pocket zone of your muscles. Like, there it is.
Yeah, and you have that little stretch that you can do. I mean, dude, when you fall back in it and that draw length's perfect, and you bring it to your face, you're like, I'm rock solid.
That's another thing I've always preached because I'm used to shooting guns and like everything I've always seen people say, like shooting skeet and stuff like that. When you bring up that gun, it should be there. It shouldn't be like a. But let me get down here and then let me move my head around to get my scope in my eye, and that's wrong. You should have that set to you. Now, if it's not your gun, it's not your gun. I think the same thing for bow. Like when I draw my bow back, all I have to do is barely put. I usually pull my head out of the way just so I don't have any string contact to my ear or something like that or whatever. And then I just put my head back in alignment with my shoulders. It's there.
Rock solid right there.
Yeah. Because if you're not doing that, you have too many variables.
Right. And that also goes back, like, if you do that over and over again, if you're consistent with it, I mean, your results are going to show you. You're going to be accurate. So, I mean, I get it. Anchor point is probably a great starting foundation, but in the end game, there's a million ways to skin a cat in archery, and just do what you feel is right.
Put anchor point into a hunting perspective. Guess what happens when you're to your anchor point if you wear gloves or if you wear a mask?
Changes.
It changes.
And you're
gonna be that guy like, oh crap, I can't see it.
Feel it.
Yeah. So basically, that's where that peep sight thing does come into play. Like, well, maybe your anchor point should almost be a little lower on your chin to account for that glove in the hunting situation. That way, you can really focus on the peep sight. Because when your glove or something's causing you to get it out of the way, it's going to be hard for you to get in alignment of the peep sight, whether you move your head or not, because it's just too much layers and stuff in the way. Just like when I couldn't shoot your bow, because it's just like my face is different for that. I couldn't see down your peep sight.
Another thing I've seen that helped for the shooting purposes is Bomar. He did it. I don't know when it was pouring rain and then mixed it was just like the sleet or whatever. He says practice how you shoot, and I think that's huge because it's like
I shoot on sunny days. I don't
hunt when it's gloomy.
I'm like 50-50 because half of the season your gloves and everything, and then the first half you're not. So it's like I'll obviously whenever I transition into later in the season, then I'll throw on gloves or whatever, and I'll shoot like that so I can get the real feel of everything. I don't ever wear a mask, like one of those whatever. I don't wear those, so I don't have to really care about the anchor point or whatever, that part. But I still practice with gloves, so because there's some gloves that are.
You got to figure out how your clothes are getting in the way, whether it's a jacket or whatever. You know, you got to know how to mess with that. Like maybe put a thumb out, push the stuff out of the way while you're drawing back. You know, do a little cutthroat motion. But yeah, I think that is, you definitely need to know, because you're going to get a very, very rude awakening whenever you're drawing back on that big buck you're waiting for, or even a doe or whatever. Like, oh man, I made a terrible shot because I wasn't prepared for that.
Because there's some clothes that are just so bulky.
But you have to have it in the, like, you know, I was out one of the last days of the season last year, or this last season here, and I forgot my gloves. Man, I was paying. I had to keep my hand in my pocket. Anytime I moved the camera, it's like, get back in.
Get back in. I had that late January, could not feel the hands.
When it's like 0 degrees or like whatever it was with the wind, oh yeah, you definitely, it's a factor. You can practice for that, but who in the right mind wants to go out and practice in negative 20 degrees, you know? I can hunt in it. I'll go out there and hunt, but man, it's weird because I did shoot a couple times when it was like 0 out. My hands didn't want it.
No, I could shoot like 3 ends of maybe 3 arrows, and I had to stop.
Yeah,
like I couldn't even shoot 10 arrows. It was bitter.
Yeah, because I saw that thing John Dudley's always posting on Facebook. I get those 30 reps in a day. I'm like, I'll go out and do 30 shots. No, it's like 14 degrees outside, John. How am I supposed to do that? I did like 10 shots. I did like 10 shots. And my group was starting to really get terrible.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, my hands are just.
Yeah, like my first 2 are solid, and then as soon as I start to see it fall apart, it's like, okay, I need to like chill out for a second, because I don't need this to become a habit.
Well, at that point, I'm half nervous, because it's like your hands are so cold it hurts. So whenever you put pressure to the release, you're just like,
oh. Well, that's another thing. You got finger release. That's a big difference when you're wearing a glove. You know, oh crap, I can't really. It's a different feel on a finger, because it's because you talk about anchor point and comfort. There's that certain feeling, like you have those callus built into your fingers from shooting.
Yes.
There's that, when it's not in the right spot on your release.
Yes, and that is 100% true. Like you could pull back, and like if you're deep into your fingers, you're like, oh, that's right. It's like your hand doesn't even have to do anything. It's like in a relaxed state. Yes,
but it's still holding the release.
If you're even like 3/8 of an inch high.
Yes.
Or if you're too deep, dude, it just doesn't, like your knuckle hit you. Or it'll be awkward. Like you can just tell when it's not right, and that goes back to learning your equipment and doing what's comfortable and all that.
Yeah, shoot what's shoot what's comfortable for you, and when you paper tune, that's gonna tell you if you're uncomfortable too. It's not just gonna tell you like. Because I see the non-stop back and forth. Oh, your form needs to be exactly perfect. But there's also that preaching of, but if you're doing this to do this, make your form, that means, like, if you're doing all this twerking your back and stuff to make your form right, you're not comfortable. I'm not going to shoot good if I'm not comfortable. Like, and don't tell me I'm going to get comfortable like that. Okay, look at sports. Like, there's so many baseball players that have a terrible batting form.
And they do great.
Yeah. That just goes to prove to you. I know archery and baseball are 2 different things, apples and oranges here, but form is form.
Yep.
Hitting a freaking 100-mile-an-hour fastball over the fence and saying that he had bad form, but he does it, every 4 games or something. What's wrong with that? He's getting results, isn't he?
Sounds like he's winning.
If I'm hitting the 12 ring about every 3rd shot, why do I care what my form is to you? Right. I'm comfortable. I don't need to shoot uncomfortable. Especially if you're going to be shooting like tack or something. Let me hike up this freaking hill about half mile while I'm sweating my fat butt off. And then I'll pull back and be like, let me make sure I'm very uncomfortable right now while I can't even breathe. Because there's 13 other guys coming up the hill ready to shoot this same spot.
The form, like what's crazy, like I'm in a few Facebook groups and it's like so many people just want to destroy somebody's form. It's like they'll be like, hey guys, how's my form? I just want to know. And then the first kind of like, your form is absolutely horrendous. Like, you need to fix it. And it's like, why are you trying to fix somebody else's form? Or whatever?
Well, they shouldn't ask for it. Like, honestly, you put your stuff on. I get it. There's some of those doe-eyed people out there that just want to sit there and just listen to all these people that think they know everything. There are plenty of people that know more than I do about this stuff. There's always somebody better than you. But to a certain extent, where does that end?
Right.
You're not shooting my bow.
Right.
You're not me. You know.
And I like it from a sense of not telling me what to do, but maybe be like, hey, have you tried this? Maybe.
Right.
Like, see, is this comfortable at all,
Yeah.
or just a, just be like, hey, I tried this once, dude. It made me shoot X amount better. Like, why don't you just try and give a helpful tip instead of trying to demand people and tell them how to shoot their bow? Why don't you just be like, hey, have you tried this? Like, this is what I tried. It worked. You can try it. It might not work for you. But like,
I think
like just we're all, if you look at it in a sense, we're all in a brotherhood and a sisterhood here. Like, we're all family, right? This archery community. It's just like, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Just
the problem is, we're not in a brotherhood anymore. It just seems like everybody knows everything, except for the guy that wants to do it himself and be by himself. Nope, you don't. You're doing it wrong. Nope, don't do that. Nope, you're wrong. Oh, you need a totally different bow, different draw length, different poundage. You completely suck. Just give it up. It's like, hey, we need more people in this sport. Not out of it. So step out.
There's so much.
Yeah, seriously, we don't need that. We don't need that energy.
Yeah, there's so much garbage, like insults going around. Like any group, like it doesn't matter if somebody just posts a picture with their deer or a video, like for example, like me shooting the deer or whatever. Like people will post that, like, just shot this deer, if that's from their form to aging a deer or whatever. It's like there's always somebody in the comments like, that's 1000% this, or like you're doing something wrong. It's like there's never a good job, dude, or like congrats on the deer. It's they're picking on
for
anything.
sure.
If that's your form or a deer or whatnot, there's always that one guy who knows everything. And it's just annoying because you go back to a few years ago, you were all like, that's awesome, congrats on the deer, like if that's a first spike or whatever, that's
Dude,
awesome.
That's like I was telling you yesterday or the day before, we were working that blind and you saw like my paper tuning stuff. It's like I've been Googling so much stuff about tuning these newer bows. When I was in high school, there wasn't all this crap. Like honestly, I hardly even ever paper tuned. It's like now there's paper tune with fletching, paper tune and bare shaft. Now I'll go out there and shoot with fletching and then shoot with bare shaft. Make sure they're shooting the same spot. But then shoot with broadheads too. And make sure they're shooting the same spot. How many times I got to do this? Can I just shoot my freaking bow?
Yeah.
I spend more time in the shop than I need to be. I just want to get my bow shooting straight arrows. Because that's honestly, if you just sit there and shoot maybe like 20 to 40 yards, you can tell if your arrow is not flying straight.
Yeah, it'll look weird. You could either see it in flight or you can go to the target and it's
the impact. If that arrow is not pointing straight back where you were standing, then you know you did something. Like something's not right. Okay, something's not lining up correct. But man, why do we have to get so crazy with? All right, do this paper tune. Now do that paper tune. Now go out there and shoot that. Now we need to shoot this. Okay, stand on one leg. All right, now put one toe in the air
and shake it all.
It's like there's too much. What had happened to the old keep it simple, stupid?
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
Like just get your arrows shooting straight. Now if you're struggling with that, then there's people. I never ask someone's opinion online. I just look at like forums.
Yeah.
I let people really tear into somebody on there, and then I'm just looking at all the information that's worth my time to take out of that.
Yep.
It's like, I'm going to let you girls chit chat, but I'm just going to sit there. Okay, maybe that's what's going on my bow, and I'll just take a look at it.
Yeah, and sometimes it fixes it, sometimes it makes it worse.
Yeah, thanks for that. You really screwed up.
Yeah. But no, I hear that. What time are we at?
44 minutes.
44.
44. That's me.
Okay. No, I hear that.
It's really easy to get dramatic about the details of a bow. That's for sure. I will say one thing. After all this bullcrap tuning I've done with my lift this year, which that lift is still a sweet shooting bow. Man, I love that bow. The only thing I can say about it is buy a micro adjust arrow rest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they'll suck if you don't.
I hate that I have to I loosened the Allen screw, trying to move it about a 32nd of an inch, and it moves a half inch. And then it moves back when I crank the Allen wrench down.
And I've got the OG QAD, so it's like you unscrew, you gotta get a hammer to beat it in place.
Micro adjust all the way.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're rough because you have to hold on to it, crack the screw.
And you got really keep your eye on. Did it just move like a 64th of an inch? Crap!
Well, like how we were talking about the other day.
I only wanted 128.
We were talking about it the other day. You undo it on those rests or whatever. You undo the screw, and it's like you get into the spot, and as soon as you crank it back down, the rest just goes.
You have because after all the time, you've got this little groove where your screw made in that aluminum QAD rest or whatever rest you got. It might be the same problem. And so when you move it like a hair, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be money right there. That's gonna hit.
It goes right back to the groove.
It just moves back to the groove. No,
I'm not doing this.
So I get the grinder out and cut out a new hole in there.
No, I hear that. Yeah, micro adjust is like miles better than anything.
When you're fine tuning and just paper tuning, I recommend everybody at least paper tune, whether you just do fletching or bare shaft or don't get too crazy. Definitely want to micro adjust. That way you're not chasing, I just moved it too much. You can hear that click, click. A lot of micro adjusters, click, click.
Yep.
You know, I just moved it like a 64th of an inch. And honestly, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, a lot or a little is a lot in the sport of archery.
Yeah. So,
which is cool.
That micro adjust is money. I hate fighting that.
Did you get one for your new bow?
Yeah, I did.
Did you get the QAD one?
Yeah, I think so, right? Or no, that's Philip fixed it.
No. I bought the new ripcord.
The ratchet?
Yes.
Really?
No, is it called the ratchet?
Yeah, ripcord ratchet.
Is it the ratchet? It's in a box back there. Yeah, it's the latest one. Because I thought they were having problems with the ratchet.
You might be right.
But it was like half the price of the QAD. I was like,
yeah.
But it has micro adjust.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's like a Hamsky, which Hamsky is what I run. It's pretty similar to that. Really similar. But have we done what you're looking forward to this year?
I'm losing my winter weight.
Well, hey, we're getting close. Yesterday was first day of spring. We're getting first day of spring.
I'll shed 20 pounds the
first day of spring. It snowed. Awesome.
It was the first day of spring?
Spring equinox.
Did anybody tell the weather?
Yeah, I don't think anybody. Where's that freaking beaver at?
I was about to text him, but hey, guess what?
He said winter.
70 degrees today. Tonight's going to snow.
It did.
Welcome to
ding,
Illinois.
Ding, ding. Yeah, that's how Illinois
What do you
goes.
look forward to most?
Man, I can't. What I'm looking forward to most.
How about we do this? A short term looking forward to, long term looking forward to.
All right. So, short term would be just getting back to the archery shoots and everything, right? Long term, getting that first buck on camera.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, that's another thing I was gonna ask. When do you care about getting your cameras out in that old camera grind?
I like to get it midway through Velvet. That way, because I don't know how the Drury's and Jeff Sturgis and Mikowski's do all that. They can be like, oh yeah, you see that? He's got these two little gnomes. I know exactly what deer this is. I'm like, what do you mean? They're all the same. And I'm just like,
I want to start tagging my deer on the ears.
Yeah,
like number 83's back.
Yeah, and I like to go about halfway through Velvet. That way I can kind of see what's going on, and then you kind of have some pictures to compare. Like,
that starts to get to.
Yeah, you're like, it's close, baby. I wish we had a Velvet season.
I know, man.
But no, I really look forward to that first, good buck picture whenever they're done growing, like early August, late July, right in there, when they get that.
Honestly, yes, like that. Yeah,
I guess it'd probably be early September, late August. My bad.
Yeah. Now on my property I live on here, I guess I've never taken my cameras down, so they're still shooting photos at me right now.
For real?
Yeah, but I mean I pay once a year for the subscription.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper that way rather than paying monthly, and And like, yeah, I would say, I guess that August time frame when it's getting closer to harvest, because usually around September 15th or whatever 11th they're starting to harvest around here. So it's like that honestly kind of shows me an idea of how well did I do as a land manager this year, because all the plots and stuff I try to do, and how do I kind of helps me gauge that deer. Does it? Because a lot of last year I was just starting to step into food plots because I just bought this place. You like last year, there's a lot of pencil tine bucks.
Yeah.
And you felt like there was something lacking in the nutrition program or something. So I think this year it's going to help me gauge, did I have enough food for them? Like, granted, they have a bunch of ag stuff,
right,
you know, to eat, but
yeah, but those food plots have those nutrients. There's that difference. It's not just beans or corn; it's clover, it's this and that and the other thing. You know, so it just kind of gets to that point. Yes, you know, maybe it kind of gets you in the back of the head. Hey, I did good. It looks like this buck's doing good. That doe's healthy. He's got healthy fawns. Yep. You feel like you did good, and I'd say I start paying more attention to my cameras around the end of August for sure. Maybe beginning. I don't know. I'd say it's around July. I start seeing those velvets. Like, oh, he's gonna be good. You see those? Oh, he's got 5 nubs on each side. Yeah, you're like, is he gonna have another one? Yeah, is he gonna sprout?
He could be huge, and he ends up only being that tall.
Yeah, oh, dang you, LP!
He didn't grow anymore. He just shed velvet right there.
I hear that. Yeah, it's like, oh, really? The nubs, really? I hear that. Connor, what are you looking forward to, short term, long term?
Short term, I would just say, obviously, like the shoots, I want to get more consistent.
I did mean to say short term is just getting that dust broken off the bow. Yeah. And hopefully short term, my freaking XD gets in my hands and I can shoot that turd.
That's great. How long have you been waiting on that now?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't want to bring up a sensitive topic.
When did I buy it?
2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I ordered it when I actually got my first lift.
Yeah.
Yes, I said, hey, the next bow, I ought to do that. Okay, the next bow, can I go ahead and put my order in now?
Yeah, so I can be the very first person before all your pooping
and I'll be
down,
last on the list. Oh, when did I order it? December. It was 2 weeks after it came out, I'm pretty sure.
So pretty much right away. Well, it came out November 13th.
17th.
17th?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
So yeah, I want to say I was the first week of December I ordered it.
So pretty much right away.
Yeah, I mean not too far off the beginning.
So December.
And honestly, I didn't want to buy the new lift, to be honest with you, because you showed me that night you were helping me on a job, and you showed me the new lift came out. I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, oh, that's cool. And basically people were saying it's not much different than the new one, but they improved the limb this issue, and they have the tuning system now, which. To be honest with you, that would be hands down better than doing that stupid top hat stuff all the time. I'm not saying it's a huge deal, but to sit there, let me put it back in the press. Let me take this top hat out. Oh, this one's about this. So I need to flip them instead of finding a different top hat. Oh, that was too much. Put it back in the press. Yeah. Let me get the other top hat, which I think MFJJ actually makes his own top hat.
Makes the ones that are even on each side. Yes.
Well, he also says they're half the increments of what Matthews does.
Oh, because he has a lot more top hats.
So you basically have double the top hats. Yeah. And he has them color coordinated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blue, green, red, yellow, orange. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
I wish he had purple, but
which is pretty nice.
That's cool, but man, it's just it's so aggravating tuning Matthews. But like the new system they got, I can't remember what they call it.
There's the new limb is Arc 7 limb technology, and tuning system is limb shift technology.
Yes. Okay. So that will be great, because I saw a video of somebody right when it came out. It just quick Allen wrench. Yep. Boom, shooting bullets. Oh, okay, cool.
I can tell you, I just had a guy come to me the other night. He just got a lift X33, right? That was the first one I ever worked on. Dude. I mean, 3 shots. 3 shots had a bullet hole, and I had him shoot it 3 times. Bing, bing, bing. Bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole. Dude, put those little caps back on, send them out the door. I mean, dude, that tuning was crazy.
Now, going on that, without getting too weird about it, if he wasn't shooting in bullet hole, what would you have done?
He shot it.
I'm saying if he wasn't shooting the bullet holes after you shot, you said you shot bullet holes with it.
I shot the bullet hole,
and you had him shoot it.
Yeah.
What would happen if he didn't shoot a bullet hole?
The first thing I would have looked at is like, dude, you got to be torquing or something. Like I would have looked at I would have put a stabilizer on the front of his bow there, and see if it's like pointing left or right. I mean, because like whenever I draw a bow back, I look down the cam to make sure it's in the string track or whatever. And if it isn't, then I'll put the pressure needed to get it lined up and shooting straight. I would go off of that first to see if he's torquing, which I mean he wasn't, thankfully. So that's what I would do first.
Yeah,
to see if that is.
I'm just talking back on that.
Yeah.
Telling somebody their form sucks thing, you know.
Yeah.
There is a certain extent where your form is kind of you could have something going on with your form. Maybe you're just standing weird, you know.
Yeah.
I like to make sure I'm standing in line with the target. Yeah. You know, some people maybe not.
Some people like to open up, and some.
True.
I don't think I've ever.
I guess if it works for you, it works for you. But yeah, for me, it's not comfortable to. Like if I were to be standing like my chest almost quartering toward the target or something, that'd be weird, you know. So I don't know, but I think honestly, torquing really kind of boils down to their grip.
The grip.
They're not doing that 45 degree hand, which it's kind of hard to get used to that sometimes.
Yeah, and that was our issue. I shot a perfect bullet hole, and he kind of shot like a little. That'd be a terror knock left because he was whenever he had his grip on there. He went like that.
Yep.
And he was gripping it pretty good. And I was like, hey, let's loosen this up a little bit. Look at your string track and just place your hand there. Like all your hand. There should be no pressure on your thumb or any of your fingers. All of us should be right here. Yeah. I should be able to wiggle all your fingers, right? He did that immediately. Boom, bullet hole. Bingo. Every single time. Yeah. It's just, it's just little things like that. But
there also is ways to torque tune your bow.
Absolutely, yep.
Make it work for you rather than you work for it.
Yeah, and that would be your rest bringing in and out, bringing it closer to you.
Rest versus pin, rest versus sight, the distance between the two helps you to torque tune it and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, that lift, I'm excited to get the XD because they finally made something for us people that shoot long draw but shouldn't shoot long draw.
Yes.
For all you genius out there.
What are you doing?
Because I'm a rebel, okay?
You just like drawing it back with your feet?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the way it is. Because I like being uncomfortable, dude. I like to actually hold the string with my ear.
With your ear?
Yeah. So that's what I do. That's my anchor point.
I gotcha. That's a good anchor point.
I just pull back.
Oh, yeah. I was like, why not?
That's not straight.
Something. Oh, my arrow's off. Okay. No, I hear that. I gotcha. Connor, did you finish your long term?
No, long term is easily gonna have to be like my vision for.
You have bad eyesight?
Yeah.
I do.
We know. No.
Well, you're actually just talking about contacts when you walk.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Your contacts screwed you up.
Yeah. We'll get off track for just a second. I went to the eye doctor before my yearly checkup or whatever, and they pulled out all these lenses and everything, put them on my eyes, and said my prescription had changed. So I got new contacts, and I don't know what it is, but I can barely see my target now. So I have to really, when I'm drawing back, I really have to focus on the target. Like if I have to try and
Are you a one eye or two eye shooter?
One eye. And I might have to try two. I don't know.
I know that messes with people trying to shoot two.
I'm gonna have to put a clarifier. And a verifier in. I don't have a choice because I really can't see. I can't see what's going on. So, But that was a side note. Connor, go ahead and keep.
Well, not necessarily. That thing changes when not everybody has 20/20 vision or good enough vision to not have corrective lenses, and everybody maybe at some point will have corrective lenses when they get older. That's something you have to think about. Hey, eye doctor, I don't want new lenses. I'm shooting my bow just fine.
Give me my old ones back.
So you got to think about that. It's just weird little things that happen throughout your life and the year. Like, oh, why am I shooting like crap? Why can't I see this thing? Oh, wait a second, I got new lenses. Or something like that, you know? Mm-hmm. Or like, hey, my strings have stretched. I need to check your draw weight every now and then during the year. Like, hey, it's definitely 4 pounds lighter than what it was, you know? So all that kind of crap happens. But what's your long-term goal there, Slappy?
I think, like, right now, my vision is to, exactly how I've said it before, is the food plots and everything, and that blind. I want what I'm seeing in my head come true.
Right, for sure.
Watching hopefully long one, walk out of that corner, come right in front of my middle window at the scrape tree, right in the big food plot, and sling an arrow on him. That's what I'd want.
You build that Field of Dreams, which Nickelback's going to be playing at Field of Dreams this year in Iowa.
Going.
I wish. If you build it, they will come. And honestly, that's the mindset of every land manager. Whoever can establish. If you can get a place where you can actually put in a food plot and a little bit of elbow grease in that place, it's just like that, man. Like, you get that vision of, man, it's going to happen, dude. He's going to be there. Man, you really just cry when they don't.
And I feel like that place has such high opportunity.
Or they do completely opposite of what you thought. Like
they're on the neighbors, and you watch the neighbors through an arrow at them. You're like,
I set that blind up in the back, and dude, they're complete. Like, I was like, oh, I left this one tree there after I cleared out a bunch of saplings and stuff. I left this one good tree there for a scrape tree. They didn't touch that stupid thing. They're at the other end of the plot. The plot didn't grow.
We know what to do different though.
That's right. That's the thing. That's, you live and you learn. You know, you go through like what didn't work. You know, maybe I killed the weeds too hardcore. I killed the plot.
I didn't bring in some black dirt.
But yeah, that vision. That I think drives a lot of hunters, is that, man, like, that's especially what you see when I see it every time I'm setting up a new tree stand. Like, we get up in that tree, you stand up in that tree, and you're like, oh, dude, I can see it right there. And it turns out he's over here.
All the way at the other stand you thought about setting in, you're like, no.
That one time you were looking at your phone and you're keeping your eye on that spot in your peripheral vision, but it turns out he's to your left. Crap.
Yeah. Go ahead and walk away, I guess.
What you just said right there, in my mind, first thing I do it is something I lacked this year was trusting my gut.
True, dude. I tell it to myself and everybody else that everybody ever says the same thing. If you ever second guess yourself, go with your first guess.
Yeah.
The first thing you ever wanted to do before you start saying, no, I think I should sit there. That's wrong.
I set the corn stand.
That's when I'm the expert. No, you're wrong. That's what I'm yelling at myself.
Yeah. Well, the real answer is don't hunt. Let me go do it for you. And I'll tell you.
If you have problems at your property, let us come and take care of it.
I'll tell you. We will tell you where he went, so you know for next year.
Yeah. I'll call you when it's time to blood trail.
Yeah. Like this stand right here. I did just shoot your 190-inch deer, but this stand right here would be the one you want to shoot him out of next year.
You have an up and comer.
Hopefully he did his job during rut because he's extinguished.
He might be a 4-year-old. I don't know.
I have no idea what he was.
He was a grade 2-year-old genetics.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, what are we thinking? Round her out?
Yes, sir. That was good talk. Good chit chat. Time to head to the classic, though.
Oh, yeah, we're off to the Deer Classic. Real quick before we end the pod, we want a big thanks to our sponsor, Squatch Bowstrings. Brandon's got his Lift XDs right here. Whenever his Lift XD, if they even make that, comes in.
I think I'll get it with the new bow.
Yeah, no kidding.
It should come in the box with the new bow.
Yeah, but big thanks to Squatch for the sponsorship there.
Good strings. They got all sorts of colors. We're gonna release a video about putting them on the bow. I put them on my lift, and Cage has also put them on his lift. But they're good strings. Definitely some cool colors.
Oh, dude, they got some with that new. They have this new Bloodline fiber. They have a B99 and VEC 99. The colors that they have are just holy.
You can really it adds that cool look to your bow.
Yes.
You can either be subtle or you can really stand
out.
Oh
man, you can be like a quiet deadly with like a dull but still colorful setup, or you can just be loud,
vibrant,
with bright yellow, green, pink. whatever you want.
Cables, different colors, strings,
different yoke colors,
and stuff like that.
You can do pinstripes,
servings.
It's crazy. But we do want to give a big thanks to Squatch Bowstrings over there for the sponsorship. And with that being said, I think we need to get to the Illinois Deer Classic.
Time to load up and get up.
So, all right, everybody, we appreciate it. This should be up soon. Go ahead and like, comment, follow, subscribe wherever you're listening.
Tell your friends about us.
Exactly.
Tell their friends about us.
Yep.
And their friends.
And go to our YouTube. I think our latest video was the muzzleloader kill.
Yep. Cage's success with the big boy.
Go ahead and check that out and share it. Follow us on all of our socials: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
Shock and Abednego.
Yeah, that's right.
Great song.
So, all right, everybody. Well, we appreciate it. We'll see you later.
See ya.